Hi everyone! Welcome to our YouTube channel, Research Ready and Student Matters Hub by Doclin. So I am Doclin. Welcome to another lesson video at welcome din dun sa mga bagong nag-subscribe at nanonood ng ating mga lesson videos. Sana nakakatulong sa inyo yung mga napapanood yung videos, and I would like to appreciate very much if you can type your comments in the comment section para mas ma-inspire pa tayong gumawa ng mas maraming lesson videos sa research at marami tayong matulungan. Natapos natin yung mga lesson videos natin tungkol sa mga different research designs ng quantitative research. Nagbigay ako ng 4 sa mga past lesson videos natin, yung descriptive survey, nagbigay din tayo ng causal comparative, correlational, tsaka yung evaluative. Meron pang ibang mga types ng mga research design sa quanti, pero i-discuss yan sa mga susunod pa nating lesson videos. Ngayon, ang i-discuss natin ay iba sa descriptive. Another type of research design in quanti, which is experimental. Kung sa ating descriptive, hindi tayo nag-establish ng cause and effect relationship. Meron lang tayong potential cause and effect relationship, which is causal comparative. It does not manipulate the variables. Now this time, pag sinabi nating experimental, kilala ito sa pagmamanipulate ng variables kasi usually, meron tayong kinakandak na experiment. And that's the tendency to manipulate or control the variables. At ang purpose ng ating experimental research ay malaman natin yung tinatawag nating causality or cause and effect relationships. Kung sa descriptive, hindi natin minamanipulate yung ating variables. Dito sa experimental, kailangan natin siyang i-manipulate para malaman natin yung cause and effect relationship between or among our variables. Let us define first what do we mean by experimental research. When we said experimental research, it's a methodological approach used to determine cause and effect relationships between variables, manipulating one or more independent variables, and observing the effects on dependent variables. It is characterized by the use of controlled conditions to test hypotheses, allowing researchers to establish causal relationship with a high degree of confidence. So it's very clear in our definition, we are going to establish the cause and effect relationships as we manipulate the independent variables, and it has an effect on our dependent variables. So malalaman pa natin more about experimental research kapag napanood ninyo ang buong lesson video na meron tayo. So please stay at panoorin ninyo kung ano nga ba ang experimental research. Pero gusto ko emphasize, ang types ng experimental research ay i-discuss ko in another lesson video, which is through experimental research. So meron din yung mga design, meron din tayong quasi, at meron tayong pre-experimental research. Okay, para madali nating mas maintindihan ang experimental research, let us discuss its key features. 1. Manipulation of variables. It is experimental when variables are manipulated. Usually, you have your independent variable, the variable that is deliberately manipulated. Ang dependent variable mo naman is yung variable that is measured to see how it is affected by changes in the independent variable. So usually, among the two variables or between the two variables, independent variables are being manipulated during the experiment. Second, it has controlled and experimental group. Pero depende sa type ng experimental research na meron ka. Pero kung meron ka nitong dalawang ito, ang experimental group is the group that receives the treatment or intervention. Ang control group naman, it does not receive the treatment or receives a placebo, serving as a baseline to compare the effects of the intervention. Ulitin ko, hindi lahat ng experimental research ay may kompletong experimental at control group. Depende yan sa design na gagamitin mo or depende sa classification ng experimental research ang gagamitin ng iyong study. Number 3, random assignment. Yung participants are randomly assigned to different groups, either experimental or control, to ensure that each group is comparable and reduce the risk of bias. Pero kapareho ng pangalawa, Yung random assignment, depende to kung anong klase ng experimental research ang gagamitin mo. Kasi kung ito ay quasi, there is no random assignment. But when it is a true experimental research, there is a random assignment of experimental and control group. Number 4, control of confounding variables. Yung researchers control for extraneous variables that might affect the outcome para ma-ensure niya that yung observed effects are due to the manipulation of independent variable at hindi dahil sa iba pang factors na po pwedeng lumabas na naging dahilan kung bakit naging ganun yung effect. Dapat sisiguraduhin ng researcher na kung ano man yung nangyari sa kanyang research ay dahil yon sa pagmamanipulate niya ng kanyang independent variable. Number 5, use of structured procedure. Ang experimental research kasi methodical ito. So it's a systematic approach na iisa or kadalasan ang kanyang protocol ay napaka-clear. It includes pre-testing intervention and post-testing phases. But then again, it also depends on the research design you are going to use. Lastly, replication. Ang mga experiments are designed to be replicable so that other researchers can repeat the study and verify the results. So, yun yung mga key features ng experimental research. Pero mag-a-apply lamang itong 6 na ito depende kung anong design ang gagamitin ng researcher sa kanyang experimental research. Ang tanong, paano po ba i-perform or ano po ba yung mga basic processes or steps in experimental research? 1, you formulate a hypothesis. Nauuna to. So, you develop a clear, testable statement predicting the relationship between the independent and dependent variables. Second, decide mo na yung experiment mo. Mag-create ka ng experimental designs. Include mo yung mga defining variables, mamili ka ng iyong subject or respondents, and i-decide mo yung procedures kung paano mo i-manipulate at i-measure yung iyong variables. Pangatlo, i-conduct mo na yung experiment mo. Kailangan alam mo yung mga experimental procedures. Ini-ensure mo that the independent variable is systematically manipulated while controlling for confounding factors. So, example natin dito. Ano ba yung sinasabi mo, ma'am? Halimbawa, so nagpagamit ka ng instructional material mo sa iyong mga estudyante. So ngayon, after ng iyong research, nalaman mo na ang experimental group ay mas mataas ang performance kesa sa control group. So po pwedeng ang maging factor ay sinasabi mo na ang iyong material ang nakakontribute dito sa mga estudyante para tumaas yung kanilang academic performance. Kasi po pwede rin naman na yung mga bata ay naging masyado ng exposed dun sa materials at po pwede rin ang isang naging factor ay yung kanilang study habits ay naiba, pwede rin yung kanilang environment na nakakontribute dun sa pagtaas ng kanilang academic performance. So babantayan ito ng researcher. So yung conclusion natin at the end, dapat mag-guard din natin na talagang yung manipulation or yung intervention na ginamit mo ang nakakontribute dun sa pag-increase ng performance. Next, collect and analyze the data. You gather data on the dependent variable and analyze it to determine whether changes in the independent variable had a significant effect on them. So, titingnan natin kung yung ating dependent variable ay naapektuhan ba ng ating independent variable. You draw conclusions, which is next. Interpret the results to determine if the hypothesis was supported and if there is a causal relationship between the variables. So, maingat tayo sa conclusion sa ating experiment. No, kaya nga binabantayan natin yung mga variables na po pwedeng makaapekto dito sa ating research. You report the findings. You document and share the results, your methodology and implications for further research or practical applications. I will post here a sample of my research study which is experimental. However, I also included methodological triangulation in this experimental research. You can check my published material in this YouTube channel below. Let's have an example of experimental research. This is the scenario. A researcher wants to determine if a new study technique improves student test scores. So, yung researcher ang mag-i-introduce ng new study technique niya. So, this will serve as the independent variable. At ang test scores, ang dependent variable. So, does it mean na kapag nag-introduce ako ng new study technique, ito ba ay makakatulong para ma-improve yung test scores ng mga estudyante? Ang hypothesis mo, students who use the new study technique will score high on test scores compared to those who use traditional study methods, meaning hindi sila gagamitan ng new study techniques. Yun yung control group mo. Ang experimental group mo ay yung mga batang gagamit ng new or makakakuha or makaka-experience ng new study technique. Ang design, you randomly assign student to two groups. One that uses the new study technique, which is the experimental, tapos yung isa, use the traditional methods, which is the control group. So yung usual na ginagawa nila. Part of the procedure, you provide the new student technique to the experimental group and yung traditional methods to the control group over a semester. So pareho yon, no? Ang nakaka-receive lang ng new study technique ay yung experimental. Yung control, usual. Data collection, measure and compare the test scores of both groups at the end of the semester. Usually, kumukuha ka ng pre-test before the intervention at post-test after the intervention. Sa analysis, you analyze the test scores to determine kung meron bang statistical significance yung dalawang grupo. Conclusion, if the experimental group scores significantly higher, it supports the hypothesis that the new study technique is effective. But I'll repeat, you have to guard your conclusion when you do experiments. You have to be sure that there are no certain variables that affect your independent variables which you manipulated na pwedeng maka-apekto siya sa iyong dependent variables. So, ito yung pwede nyong gawin kapag ang gagamitin nyo ay experimental research. Pero, magkakaroon ako ng separate lesson video para i-discuss ko specifically ano ba yung mga types ng true experimental, ng quasi-experimental, at ng pre-experimental research. And so, that ends our lesson video on experimental research. Now, you can decide if you're going to use an experimental research based on your research questions. And I am going to have once again another lesson video on its type as to true, quasi, or pre-experimental research. Please like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel. Again, I would like to welcome those who are new in our channel, and please continue to watch all our lesson videos because it will help you, enhance you, and educate you in the field of research so that you can complete your research project. If you have any question with this video, please comment in the comment sections that we have in this lesson video. I appreciate much if you can also comment on what you have learned or an appreciation post regarding the videos that we have in our YouTube channel. Always remember, we unlock insights to empower your minds. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you on our next lesson video. Bye-bye!